back here. Kung nawala pa inyong internet connection, you can still go back to the to the save. Na-save na to video. Okay, so let me share screen. All right. So this is Unit 5. Okay, Unit 5. So this is the fourth pillar of criminal justice. So as I said, as a review, we have law enforcement or the police, the prosecution, the court, and the correction, and the community. So this is the second to the last pillar of CGS. Okay, correction is considered as the weakest pillar in CGS or criminal justice system. It is considered as the weakest pillar. It is because there is kanabitang dakong problema on this part, which is the correction. Dili kanila, there is a failure on their part because supposed to be those people nga gibutang dire, like nanay judgment, so nana siya sa jail or nana siya sa prison. So meaning to say, dapat ma-rehabilitate siya, dapat magbago siya. Pero there are many cases wherein a person yung na-priso with the violation of Republic Act 9165, which is drugs, paggawas niya, naagihapon siya or nag-involve gihapon siya of drugs. Meaning to say, on the part of the correction, there is a failure because wala na rehabilitate or wala na integrate or there is no reintegration on the part of the prisoner. Meaning ba, what I mean is, napriso ka, so dapat magbago ka kay napriso na gud ka pila ka tuig. Dayon pagguwa nimo, nag-involve gyapon ka of drugs. So there wala siya effectiveness on the part of the correction. That is according to other authors. That is why they are considered as weakest pillar. There is a failure to reform offenders. So, diba, right after correction is you're going to go back to the community. That is normal because if you are going to go back to the community, but then again, imong trabaho is mamaligya ihapon og drugs. So meaning, wala ka na reform, wala ka na change. That is the reason why correction is considered as a weakest pillar. And I hope you guys understand that one. Then we have here three main school. Anyway, classical school, new classical, positive school. Actually, you are done with this because in your CRIM 1 na anisha. So I will no longer discuss that one. Then we are going to go here, corrections. Corrections is a branch of administrative or criminal justice charged with responsibility for the custody, supervision, and rehabilitation of the convicted offender. See, as you can see, corrections, dako kay siya og rule. There is a big rule on the part of the prisoner. That naman, it is your custody, meaning, pag naay na priso dira, anything happen to that person is your responsibility. Kakita mo ng mga balita nga naay ni-escape nga prisoner, diba? O sibak dayon sila or gitangtang sila sa serbisyo or gipakasuhan sila administrative case kay nganong mga taga BGMP, mga jail officers nga assign anak na time nga takasan man. Because that is their responsibility. That is under custody. Then supervision. They will supervise and also rehabilitate the convicted offender. As you can see in the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, daghan sila of programs. Especially C2. So that is their programs. Na sila aside from that sa skills na part na program, naapod sila kanang sa rehabilitation, like na mga different religious group Mga dito, sila, Bible study, mga yun na. So those are part of the corrections. Those are part as program in corrections. Here, what is penology? Is a branch of criminology that deals with management and administration of inmates. So some of the society's common response to crime is retribution. Actually, mauni siya dapat here in our first or in our introduction. These are the purposes of corrections and sentencing. So what is this deterrence? Or ginatawag na to o before retribution. Now we go to deterrence. Deterrence, it should be prevention. Or ginatawag na to ba o ma-prevent. Ma-prevent usually ang crime. Diba? Ginabutang, uy, mapriso jud ka ana or something like that. So it should be prevention that you are going to think that you are not going to make mistakes or kill somebody. Ikabalo ka nga, mapreso ka. So it should be like that. Pero kay lagi, kung diri sa Philippines, as you can see, pag drug case, dugay kaayo, or anything, ang uban, depende man na siya, kung mingon og naay bail, so maka-bail, so makagawa siya. But still, pag abot dito, maurag yapon ang gitrabaho. So there is a failure on the part of the corrections on that. Then we have here the rehabilitation and reintegration. Supposedly, this rehabilitation will adjust the processes, meaning they will rehabilitate to avoid or to prevent this deviant behavior. Kanang deviant behavior is a kind of attitude of a person nga mo-commit yun o crime. Mo-commit sila crime. So this rehabilitation, such as kanang mag-Bible study, dapat makahinuklog sila sa ilahang mga kaugalingon na wrong na ilahang ipangbuhat. So there are vocational training, counseling, and therapeutic treatment. So naana dito sa rehabilitation. And of course, the reintegration is the rehabilitative model in the sense that is considered offenders' need for assistance. In the same way, this process submits that the criminal behavior is due to the gap between the criminal and the community. For this reason, the offender must assisted to strive hard to face the forces in the society. Actually, usually pag makadakop ka or makadakop ka og usa ka kaning drug user, mingon siya nga tungod sa kapobrehon. Meaning to say, he or she was not able to adapt of what is in our society. Okay, tungod mas kapobrehon, so mangita ka trabaho, dili kay easy money. So the purpose of this reintegration is to make this person realize nga dapat ka magtrabaho. Kay tungod pobre man, so dapat na mo trabaho. Dili kay you need an easy money. Ang problema man gud ani ma'am kay taas kay qualification ng trabaho. Actually naampan jud daghang trabaho, but depende ro jud pala nimo kung decidido jud pug ka mo trabaho. But if you wanted to have an easy money, so you are going to involve into criminality. So there is no reintegration. Wala ka na reintegrate. So usually here reintegration, this is a kind of realization na you need to strive hard. You need to face the situations in the community. You need to work hard for it. Dili kay ipasulabin nimo ang imong criminal behavior. So let's go to the word prison. This one. Naay word nga prison, napoy word nga jail. So what is the difference between these two? Usually ra ba ang atuang term kung Bisaya ta kay na priso si Tampulano kay nang rape ni Tampulana, something like that. But what would be the proper term to be used? Okay, let's find out. The word prison is said to have been derived from Greco-Roman word presidio. Pre means before and sidio means inside. So prison coming from Greek Roman word. So as part of the early prison history, the basic law in the Philippine prison system is found in section 1705. Okay, you read that one. Then the word jail is said to have been derived from Spanish word. Okay, ang prison from Greek and Roman word. Pre means before, then sitio means inside. So that is prison. Ang jail is from the Spanish word jaulo, which means cage. Its legal definition is a building or place of confinement of arrested or sentenced person. Jail are a primarily adult penal institution used for detention of violator. So later, ito nang ma-discuss more. But before that, we have categories of prisoners. So naatay mga different categories under Presidential Decree number 29. Natay gitawag og city or municipal prisoners. Person who, by reason of their sentence, may be deprived of liberty for not more than 6 months. The imposition of subsidiary imprisonment shall be taken into consideration in fixing the status of prisoner hereunder, except when the sentence imposes a fine only. So sa city or municipal prisoner. So natay prisuhan sa city o sa municipal prisoner. For example, here in Tanggob, naay prisuhan sa police station na aputay Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. So meaning, katong naa sa municipal or katong ginatawag nato city or municipal prisoners, those are only having not more than 6 months. So so paano ni siya? Light lang, light. Pero kung murder na yun, ma'am, dili pwede priso. Temporarily, yes, pwede. Pero once nga nanay verdict sa iya, i-transfer gina siya sa Bureau sa BGMP. So dili na siya dito sa municipal. What if ma'am? What if naalay siya na violate sa ato ang memorandum nga gihatag sa municipal or city? Yes, pwede na siya dito nato i-priso. City or municipal prisoners. Do not forget that not more than 6 months. So dili siya mulapas sa 6 months. Provincial prisoners, person who by reason of their sentence may be deprived of liberty for not more than 3 years or are subjected to fine or not more than 1,000 pesos. Natay ginatawag o city or municipal jail, na po tayo ginatawag o provincial jail. So that is under Bureau of Corrections. That is under province. Natay prisuhan po niya under sa province nga dili siya under sa BGMP. So not more than 3 years. All other prisoners are considered national prisoners. So natay types of jail. Natay rather we have city or municipal jail, then natay provincial jail. So natay ginatawag og types of jail. Ahang man nabilong ang city or municipal or naalang sa local, that is lock-up jail. So kanang prisuhan, kung mingang types of jail, ang term nga gamiton nato ang naa sa municipal or city nga mga prisuhan, lock-up jail na siya. Then we have also ordinary jail and workhouse jail. Actually, we have here the different prison nga ato ang ipang-mention ang mga ngalan nga unsay klase nga mga prison ang naa sa Pilipinas. So first, distinctions between jail and prison. Jail is under the Department of Interior and Local Government or DILG through the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, whereas prison is under the Department of Justice. Okay. So kaning mga lock-up jail na-identify ni siya within these two kay si DILG, si BGMP is under DILG, right? Always remember ang gi-separate sa tri-bureaus, kag tulo ka bureau is si PNP, which is RA 8551, if you still remember in our first pillar. But then again, the rest of the two is under DILG. So si BGMP, si Bureau of Jail Management and Penology is under DILG. Okay, under DILG. So sa mga jails, ang tawag na jail, so ang under siya sa DILG. So jail ang tawag nato ana. Buot pasabot kanang mga prisuhan nga naa sa inyuhang mga municipality, kanang naa sa city, ang term ana is jail. Ang kita manggod duha man siya ka term, di ba? Mo ni kung gingon ganina. Duha siya ka term. Meaning ang jail nga term is under DILG or BGMP. So katong na sa mga lock-up jail, under na siya sa DILG. So jail ang term. Pero pag under sa DOJ, because the Bureau of Corrections is under Department of Justice, ang term nga gamiton is prison. So to make it short, kanang mga dagko kayong prisuhan nga itong hisgutan after this is under Bureau of Corrections. And Bureau of Corrections is under Department of Justice. Okay? So, ako lang i-clarify. Kung ikumpara nato sila, kaning mga gagmay mga prisuhan, actually dako si BGMP. Dako man si BGMP. Pero kanang sa city nga mga prisuhan ninyo, sa city or municipal, ang tawag ana is jail, dili prison. Dili prison. Kay under man siya sa DILG or under BGMP. Kanang mga BGMP, kanang mga gagmayng prisuhan, that is jail. Pag mingon gani ka og DOJ or prison, kato ng mga dagko kaayong mga prisuhan, which is later we are going to discuss it. So number 2, in jail, the person is detained therein is merely awaiting trial of his case and who cannot afford the amount of bail imposed. So as you can see, kanang mga waiting, kanang for trial pa, wala pa gyud na sila judgment. Wala pa na judgment. So usually naana sila sa jail. Naana siya sa BGMP. Okay? So jail ang tawag ana. Kay usually bitaw no, ang ato bitaw matawag pag mingon ko na priso man siya, naman siya dinhaon na priso. Actually the word prison is not appropriate. It should be jail. I don't know kung maura ba nang binisaya anang jail o prison. Basta kay ang term yun gamiton in criminology term, pag under jud siya sa na priso siya sa BGMP or na priso siya sa mga prisuhan ninyo dira anang municipal and city, ang tawag yun na is jail in English. Then katong nanay judgment nga ng rape, mga drug lords, so nana siya sa prison. So this one, naatay mga dagko kay mga prisuhan. So naatay 7 correctional facilities in the Philippines. So kani sila, so under Bureau of Corrections, so this is prison. So under man siya sa Bureau of Corrections, and Bureau of Corrections is under DOJ. So first is the Bilibid Prison, San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm, Iwahig Prison and Penal Farm, Correctional Institution for Women, Sablayan Prison and Penal Farm, Davao Prison and Penal Farm, and Leyte Regional Prison. So mauning mga 7 ka buok nga dagko kaayong mga prisuhan, mga prisuhan sa Pilipinas. Kinsa-kinsa maning naa diri ma'am. They're not waiting for trial ha. Naa na gyud ni sila judgment. Pila na ka years, pwede ba 18 years, life imprisonment pa. So naa na siya din ha. So first we are going to talk about Bilibid Prison. So these are part of insular and national prisoner. So dako kay ning Bilibid Prison, kung nakita ninyo dito nga katong sa time ni Laila de Lima nga siya pa ang undersecretary sa Department of Justice, katong ilahatong girade tong Bilibid prison ni kunuhay to si plido ato kulanggo si plido ato nalimot na ko. So if you are going to know the Bilibid prison, so it was then established during Spanish Crown 1847. So dugay na ni siya kaayo. So it is nearby Central Market of Manila. Og naa siya 2 satellite units na ay Bukang Liwayway o Sampaguita Camp. So unsay naa sa Bukang Liwayway? Minimum security prisoner who work in the various projects of the institution. Then Sampaguita Camp, located the reception and diagnostic center, the medium security unit, and the youth rehabilitation center. Sa sulod sa prisuhan, i-identify na sila o maximum, medium, and minimum. Sa maximum, kato na ng mga, kanang mga ipang-priso dito, kanang danger person na mga ipang-priso sa maximum. So, dili gina sila pwede. Gina-separate na sila. Dili na, kung ikaw minimum, ikaw maximum. So, lahi, minimum and medium. So, lahi na sila. Wala na sila ipon. Unlike sa BGMP kay tanang mga lalaki, ipon, tanang mga babae, ipon. So, actually here in Bilibid Prison, you are identified what type of security. It depends on your case. Maximum, medium, and minimum security. So, naana dito. In sa San Ramon Prison and Penal Farm, we have also here, the prison was named Captain Ramon Blanco. One of the prisoners during those days was Dr. Jose Rizal, has an area of 1,546 hectares. So can you imagine that one dako siya? Walang apil diri pila ka hectares ang Bilibid Prison now. Actually these 7 facilities ma-enhance ni siya more or deeply explanation for this in your correction. Kani diri is for introduction lang ta. So dako kay ni sila, dili ni sila imong tag-isa lang ka hektar, ka hektarya. O can you imagine ng San Ramon? 1,546 hectares. Then we have also Iwahig Penal Colony na siya 36,000 hectares. Na isa Santa Lucia Sub-Colony, Inagawan Sub-Colony, Montibol Sub-Colony, and Central Sub-Colony. We have also Davao Penal Colony. Actually, dili din siya tanan. Natay sa Zamboanga, pero mas okay kung dito sa Bilibid, no, makakita. Actually, even me, wala ko kakitaan na kay last year before COVID, nagita may programa nga katong tanang naka-enroll sa correction administration because you have the subject or course correction. So katong tanan is i-involve siya or natay field trip nga ginatawag pa sa Zamboanga rato, pero ang uban sa Cebu. Pero wala siya na dayon tungod aning COVID. So we have also the Davao Penal Colony. We have 18,000 hectares. Then we have also Correctional Institution for Women. Actually tawag ani katong sa Usamis, I forgot the name, katong anak Parogino. Okay, she was then transferred already in Correctional Institution for Women in Mandaluyong. So, nana siya karon sa Mandaluyong. So, this correctional institution is just for women. So, dirita ng mga kababaihan na ani nga prisuhan. Kakusap ni siya. Naani siya sa 18 hectares. Naas siya sa Mandaluyong naka-build. So, transfer na siya sa correctional institution for women. So, si Sablayan Penal Colony and Farm, we have here 1954, President issued Proclamation number 72. Okay, so naapod siya 16 hectares of the virgin land in Sablayan, Occidental, Mindoro. So naapod na siya dira. We have also number 2. So those are 7 facilities, big facilities. Kung ikumpara nimo si jail, gamay ra gyud si jail, ikumpara nimo ni prison. Kasi prison arang kadako gyud, arang kadaghan na po kayo ng mga priso din ha. So if you are going to compare, pag mingon gali kag jail, they're still waiting for trial. Pag mingon gali kag prison, na sila judgment. Okay? So, city or provincial prisoner, mananataani, municipal prisoner. So, we're done with this. So, this one, the classification, according to their sentence, age, nationality, health, criminal records, etc. So, kani, depende sa degree. Maximum security. Kasi may naan ang mga maximum security, ma'am. Actually, kanang mga maximum security, kato ng mga drug lords. Kaya kani mga drug lords, arang kadaghang connections. So, pag daghang kikag connections, automatic, kwarta na imong padaganon, so magdagandagan lang ng mga droga dra. Even if naa ka sa bilibid, na dako kayo nga facility, pero napadagan yapon nila ang mga droga dito. So, maximum security, gina-separate na siya katunang mga killer nga murag ulo nakabuhok na patay, mga inana ng mga killer. Then mga rapists na sila dira sa maximum security. Medium security katura nang dili ra pud kaayo kumpara sa sa maximum. Then sa minimum security, pag mingon kag minimum security murag lang ka nga prisoner, dili kay ka bad behavior. Di kay wala kay deviant behavior. So still naa ka sa minimum security. So maximum, medium, minimum security. Mas nindot unta nga pag maka-enroll mo sa correction administration, makita gid nato personal, dili kay magsigilong taglantaw or the theory or we're just reading the books, mao to, di kita ka imagine ug unsa jud siya kaayo kadako. Even me, I'm just visualizing or gusto dyan ako makita kung sa juday siya kadako nga grabe kadaghan ang mga hectares ang mga gipanghisgutan dinhi. Nayuban diri pag naka sa minimum security, nanay kinatawag nila mga trustees, no? So kadang uban pwede na makagawa magkunaguna dito nayuban ani nga sa nayuban ani as to the bit, I forgot what prison is it, katong na sila'y banana plantation. Na sila'y mga banana plantation. So meaning, naa sila'y income inside the prison. So naay income. Kaya katako kayo ilahang location. So we have here the 7 operating correctional facilities in the Philippines. Then rehabilitation and treatment programs. So daghan kayo ng mga rehabilitation din ha. Napuntay mga classification. Diagnosis, treatment planning, execution of treatment program. So, wala siya. So, you read that one. GCTA, si Good Conduct Time Allowance. So, ni GCTA, ma'am? Si GCTA will be applied kung makita ka nga, nabutan na ka, na-change na ka, nagbinutan ka sa sulod. In short, nagbinutan ka sa sulod sa prisuhan. So, meaning, you will be deducted. Kung sa may didakan ani, you will be deducted to your punishment. So, i-deduct na siya sa imuhang punishment. Na computation ani, actually in your correction administration, na makita na dito kung saan pag-compute inyong GCTA. So, meaning, si GCTA will help you. For example, kung imuhang judgment is butang na to og 12 years, so, kung nagbinutan ka, butan ka dito, wag ka pa buyag-buyag sulod, mamaynusan na siya. Mamaynusan. So, first 2 years, na kay 5 days each month. So, meaning, each month, maynusan nila na 5 days. Pagka third year or 5th year, maynusan na po kag 8 days. So, meaning, na ay minus imuhang per month na ay minus kung butan ka, waka nag-engage dito mga rayot-rayot, sa panadinha, butan ka, so ma-apply ni si GCTA. So na mga deductions from the period of sentence. So every month na na ay minus. So mao na siya na ay computation ani kung example pila ang 12 years ba ka, so na ay computations. So mao na siya 5 days each month. So in 1 month minusan og 5 days. So minus hangtod nga makagawa na ka kay dako-dako na ang minus imuha. So maka minus ka og mga pila ka months, so dali ra imuhang paggawas. So that is the essence of GCTA, Good Conduct Time Allowance. Then commutation of sentence, we have here the executive clemency, changing a heavier sentence to less serious one or a longer term to a shorter term. Si commutation of sentence, kato ng mga executive clemencies, including parole, amnesty, pardon. So, muna siya, probation. So, naay mga time na during the time of President Duterte, na siya mga gipangtagaan o parole, especially naanay mga katunang na mga katong for example si Ruben Padilla, so na na siya I think pardon to yaha, pero bawal siya moadto og laing nason because even if na rewardan ka og pardon or parole, still gina-monitor kanila kay kung still ba you have this deviant behavior or wala, kay anytime pwede ka ibalik sa prison. Pwede ka ibalik. Kay si Ruben Padilla is, if you still remember nga na siya movie nga sa Bilibid. Yes, na prison na siya sa Bilibid because of, I think that is because of illegal firearm. So na prison na siya before. That is why his wife Mariel Padilla dito sa other country pero siya mabilin sa Pilipinas kay dili, that is conditional pardon. That is conditional pardon wherein you cannot go to other country pero pwede na ka maka-travel within Philippines. So mo na yung mga exemptions. Pwede ka ani. Si Gloria, and of course, na ay mga bagong ipangtagaan o mga pardon ni Duterte, President Duterte, katong mga dagko na edad. So, tango na sila dito. And of course, pag tiguang na ka, dagko na kay edad, siguro na-change na pud ka. Posible na pud og dili, di ba? So, we have there the probation. Then, we have here the terms in criminology. We have amnesty, commitment order, contraband, corporal punishment, detainees, escape-prone prisoners, GCTA, jail, lock-up security facility. Mitimos. Mitimos is a warrant issued by court bearing its seal and signature of the judge, directing the jail or prison authorities to receive convicted offender. So if ever manggod si mitimos, magawas ni siya. For example, sa court na part na kay judgment. So kay judgment. So right after that one, nai-issue ang judge. Mo na ginatawag na tug mitimos. Nga iyahang ihatag sa BGMP to receive the convicted offender. So dili na basta-basta nga maadto sa BGMP kung wala ning mitimos. Then, pardon. So, muna sila ang mga terms, criminology term. So, before we advise our students to memorize every term, so it's up to you if you're going to memorize this or not. But then again, wala ta po gipugos nga inyuhan na siyang memorize. So on this topic, on this unit, always remember the 7 facilities in correction. 7 facilities in corrections kay usually in board examination, magawas ang pila ka hectares ang tawag ani Bilibid and other 7 facilities, and always remember also the word GCTA. Actually, this is just an introduction and you can deeply discuss this during your CA1 and CA2. So, here in correction, we're done with the rehabilitation, the purposes, and of course, the word prison and jail. Always remember the word prison and jail. So mao na siya ang highlight kaayo ani nga unit. Okay, so right after this, we are going to go to the last unit. So just save your questions for next meeting, for next Monday, from Unit 1 to Unit 6, so that I can cater all the questions. And as of this moment, we're going to finish all units para Q&A ta next meeting. So let me share the last unit. Last unit, okay, Unit 6, which is community. Actually, here in community pillar, this is very understandable. And of course, right after the fourth pillar is you're going to go back to the community. First is the law enforcement, prosecution, court, correction, and community. So always remember that 5 pillars. That is very important. So what is the task of this community pillar? So this system in criminal justice, complicated task of preventing and controlling crime. The community is the most critical and useful component due to its massive and pervasive composition. So accordingly, this is the most kanang ginatawag na to critical, because when you go back to the community, naana po'y mga tawag ani, maano na pug ka, madani na pug ka sa pag-commit of crime. Since you are done with that, you are done with the correction, but then again, sa kunang ginaingon, weakest pillar ang correction kay failure of kanini ang reintegration and rehabilitation of the offender. So meaning, pagpaalik ng community, pero dili po siya tanan. Naapoy uban nga nagbago jud. Pero usually, di ba, kung makita ninyo sa TV nga, naka-bail day siya before, karon ibalik na po. So there is a failure in the part of correction pillar. Here in the community is critical because this component or this pillar is kanabang naghatag siya o kanini ang makapadani. It's because of the environment. And of course, when we talk about environment, one of the factors or component is the community itself. So, mo na siya ang explanation nganong name mo siyang critical. Okay, so here in community involvement in the criminal justice process is institutionalized in barangay, the smallest political unit of the nation, barangay or village courts, to provide for the community-based mechanism of amicable settlement of disputes by conciliation panels chosen by litigants themselves. So natay mga gitawag o lupong taga-payapa, which is the equivalent of shutei of Japan, and panchayat now on Union Council in Pakistan, and the Neighborhood Conciliation Committee in China, the Settlements and Arbitration Ward. Okay, so this one, ginatawag nato na siya barangay. Natay mga gitawag og settlement from barangay. As much as possible, manggod, kung gagmay lang upang barangay nga case, sa barangay lang. Because barangay is very important also. Kaya in a particular place, ang barangay yun is one of the kanang dagananan if there is a problem, di ba? Ang barangay ang dagananan. So that is why barangay is part of the community. Dili man ta pwede na ang uban niya. For example, imong bana is imong bana na mugbog or gibugbog ka. So mudagan din ka pinakadali daganan is the barangay nga tawag og lupong tagapayapa. So here in abstraction, naata diri gitawag community. Katarungang pambarangay establishes a system of amicably settling disputes of barangay level. So muna itong ginaingon kung barangay level lang, so dito ta sa katarungang pambarangay. Usually, even if, for example, gibugbog ka sa imong bana, that is in violation of 9262 VAUC. But still, pwede ka moadto og barangay. Then si barangay will issue of katong pwede na kamo kaso sa court. So pwede ka dito. That is now part of the community. So naadri mga section 412 RA number 7160 provides that no complaint, petition, action, or proceeding involving any matter within the authority of law shall be filed or instituted directly or indirectly in court or in any other government office for adjudication, unless there has been confrontation between the parties before the lupon chairman or the pangkat, and that no conciliation has been reached as certified by the lupon or pangkat chairman. This is the general rule. So even if na general rule, kung nakapaminaw mo anang Rafi Tulfo in action, na ay mga kaso nga kanang dugay na siya ba? Dugay na pero wala na aksyonan sa barangay. So meaning, pwede ka mo adto dayon sa PNP. Pero kung bago lang, pwede ra ka mudagan sa barangay, and then the barangay will issue siya, I forgot the term, pero may issue siya nga pwede na kamo file sa court. Okay? So, pinaka-importante is, the most important thing as a general rule, you're going to go to the lupon, chairman, or the pangkat for your case. Then the following are the exceptions of the foregoing rule, where one party is the government or any subdivision of instrumentality, where one party is public officer or employee, offense punishable by imprisonment exceeding 1 year, offenses where there is no private offender. Okay, so these are the exceptions. Sa ako nang ginaingon, dili na moagi sa barangay. Kung ang party or the offended party is from the government or a public officer, or the case is punishable exceeding or more than 1 year. So, dili na ka pwede ra ka mo diretso. So, you read this one. Then, we have here the mobilized community as pillar of the CGS has twofold rules, which are the civic duty and responsibility to participate in law enforcement activities by being partners of the police officers in reporting the crime incident and helping the arrest of the offender. Okay, this is still part of the community, no? If you are the good citizen or concerned citizen, you can report the crime incident so that the person or so that you can help the arresting officer to arrest the offender. Usually kay mahadlok man tanong kung baski kabalta nga atong silingan na maligyag droga, dili na magsaba-saba kay basin niya mabalsan ta. Mao na usually nga gipanghuna-huna sa ato ang community. Pero if you're a good citizen, no, you can report your need for kay sila na may nagpa-damage sa ato ang youth or kabataan. Pero mo lagi kay mahadlok ta mo report kay basin niya balusan ta. So as part of the community, it is your responsibility to report to the officers or police officers and help them to arrest the offender. That is one of the rules in the community. Because if we talk about community, kinsa may naa sa komunidad? We, people. Kita mo'y naa sa komunidad. So that is why it is still part our rule here. Then civic duty responsible participate in the promotion of peace and order, crime prevention and rehabilitation of convicts for their eventual reintegration to society. It's not for us to be here in a community nga kung makita ka o ex-convict, imo na nung iboli. So actually dili na siya pwede. It should be we the community will help that will help them to reintegrate or rehabilitate. Usually karon gina-abolish na kung ex-convict ka, dili ka pwede mga-apply. So pwede na ka mga-apply. It is because it's not for us to bully those people who are ex-convict. It's for us to participate and promote peace and order in our place. So that is one of the rule in the community. Enhancing criminal justice through people empowerment. So this is our rule also that we are going to people empowerment can be manifested in the effective involvement of the community. So it's as for us to report crimes, assess the investigation and trial of cases as witness, and the rehabilitation of offenders. But we have also the law, no? If you don't want to be a witness, dili man ka pukson. But as part as a community, to promote the peace and order, to promote or to give justice to the victim, so you will be as part of the witness. Still, it is our decision. Kaya dili man ta pwede pugson as being witness. Bawal na siya. Dili pwede mapugos nga mahimo kang witness. Then, community-based crime prevention program. Natay National Summit on Peace and Order. So natay reinforcing the whole of family life, educational improvement, health improvement, and other improvements. So mo na siya. But you know what? In our involvement of mass media, for now, daghan kayong in our, in national happenings, we are only rely on the news. But then again, not all news are legit. Dili tanang news legit. That is why we need to know the kaning capacity or kanang original nga news. Kay as of now, daghan kay mga fake news nga itong mga mabati here in the community. Kay mingon tag national manggod, what happened to Manila, we are always relying on the radio and the TV. But then again, ang mass media karon na ay mga dili legit. So we must choose what is legit. Then these are the home, the school, the church, mass media, the barangay, community service organization, non-government organization or NGOs, then the people's organization. So mo na mga key sectors in the community in achievement of these end goals. So those are promoting these sectors, kaning mga sectors mo na nag-promote of peace and order in the community. Especially gyud ang home. Kay ang home, we first learned in the home. So kung unsay naa sa tuwa, ato nang na-learn. Kumbaga, kung ato ang mama o papa is a drug user, there is a possibility that you are also a drug user. Pero dili tanan. What is in your home is reflected on your self. Then the school will taught you not to become a criminal. Wala man siguro eskwelahan nga. But there are factors also nga kung sa school lang atong hisgutan, there are factors who taught you to become a criminal. Just like what happened kanang daghan kay karong mga school nga instructors nga nag-recruit for NPA. And of course, this New People's Army is of course violators in our community. So naagyapon siya. Anyway, tanan bisag asa man. Even in the church na ana siya. So it depends. Then the mass media, we should know that kung legit ba siya o dili. Then the barangay, the community service organization, NGOs and POs. So those are still sectors. Mga sectors na sila that includes in our community. We have also the institutions of socialization. Una, the home, the cradle of human personality, wherein the child forms fundamental attitudes. Your attitudes depends on your home. I don't know if you are going to believe that. Nga kung ipakita sa imuha is kabantay mo og ato ang family is always mamisti,